ladies, hi. Welcome to That's a Dude in a Dress podcast.
You and I met you. Sorry, guys.
I'm Jose, also known as Jose Na Juan.
And I'm Melissa. Hi, guys.
So, okay, we were talking about topics, right? And we're just discussing something. Well, I saw this podcast from Ray William Johnson. I think that's his name. He doesn't need me, honey. He's in the millions on YouTube, on Facebook. Everything he touches turns to gold. So he doesn't need me. But I heard a story from him. This is all credit to him. So he was talking about one time they were having have you ever had an online relationship? Like even just
not on. Well, I met the person online. This is when I was in my 20s. I met the person online.
Not when get online.
Yeah, it was AOL at the time. I think I kind of told you the story a little bit that his partner ended up reaching out to me. I didn't tell you this? Okay.
Wait, I think you did.
Right? So that one, I would say that one. That's the only online.
They don't know though.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, guys. So it was AOL, we had chat rooms, all that stuff, And he's the one that kind of started like, oh my God, you're so pretty, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, what room were you in?
I don't know which one. I'm sorry, guys. I don't.
Plus size and loving her.
I don't remember.
Real women have curves.
Probably.
Good movie though.
Anywho, so he reached out. We were communicating on the phone back and forth. We were writing to each other because at the time there wasn't really emails, there wasn't FaceTime, there wasn't, online, there wasn't any of that stuff, any social medias. So we were writing back and forth. And I guess, and one of the times, and he sent me pictures. I was just like, so he was.
Okay, so if you don't know, if you're too young, there's a lot of older people here, but if you're too young, remember the pictures would take forever to upload?
No, this wasn't on there. It was actually, this was actual mail. Like, he's sending me,
yes. You've got mail.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, physically.
Like letters.
Ew, not a pen pal. No, yeah, pen pal and everything. So he was a redhead, I'm like, damn.
Oh, I love redheads.
Ginger. Yeah. So I guess his partner ended up finding out and ended up being, the partner reached out to me and told me like, hey, he has a boyfriend, so-and-so. And I was completely like, oh my God, this fool played me. He's gay.
But he's gay?
Well, I mean, from the guy reaching out.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a woman. For some reason, I wasn't Oh, wow.
Yeah, I said his name. And kind of explained everything. I wrote back and I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, never mentioned it. And it stayed like that. So that was the last time I ever tried anything online.
Ooh, that's makes me itch. I hate men.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a Ray William Johnson. I'm telling you, he is so phenomenal. You've got to go look at his stuff. You're going to fall in love quickly. He has this like thing of quality of the way he talks and tells a story. It's so good. Okay, so I saw this story of they were young kids. They were online, and it wasn't too long ago. The young kid, portrayed himself as because he's a singer, and he's like, oh God, like a goth singer. Oh yeah, whatever. Well, the girl was loving it. She loved everything that he posed. Like she was really liking this guy.
So this was all just online?
Online.
Okay.
And so she was they were getting infatuated. They talked for quite some time. I think like a good year and a half. So it was a good time. I could be wrong in the time, so excuse that. Well, anyway, he ends up telling her, hey, well, they're having this fest of this, like the music that he automatically plays. Why don't we meet up and we'll go to that same festival? And she's like, okay. Well, she invites her friend and they're like, okay, let's go. Well, he gets there, they meet up, and she is not happy. They said you could tell she no longer liked him like that because she wasn't attracted to him. I guess because he wasn't, how sometimes some ugly dudes, hola ugly dudes, you put photos of yourself that don't really look like you, and then you go in person and it's completely the opposite. Well, she was beautiful. Like she looked like her photos or whatever, he was infatuated, honey, even more so. Well, she wasn't. Okay. She was like, oh, I think this is going to be like a friends kind of deal. You could tell that there was no chemistry there. especially on her side. Well, they end up going to the festival.
Okay.
They still hang out. It's I think the festival was 2 to 3 days. I can't really remember. Well, they were all three of them, well, they were going to stay at her house. So the mom lives there.
Okay.
So that one night you could tell he was like bubbling the entire day because something was happening that he was understanding that she didn't want to be friends. She just wanted to be friends. So she wanted to be, boyfriend and girlfriend, even though she really liked him.
Okay.
But he lied on the way he looked. Anyway, I don't know how, but...
And this was the first meetup, right? You said that?
The first time they'd ever meet up.
Okay.
So anyway, they get to the house. And the dad picks them all up.
Okay.
So he's assuming that the dad's going to stay. But the reality is, dad is leaving to his own house. They separated like not too long ago. So he's going back to his house. He drops them off at the mom's house. And now the 3 teenagers are there. And
I was about to ask you the age too.
Yeah, I want to say they're in their 17, 18s, 19. They're really, really young.
Why are the parents still involved? Okay.
Yeah,
Now
they're really young.
Yeah.
So that night, he is bubbling. This entire time, you could tell that she's not interested. He's angry. He is more invested than she is now. Well, he got so angry that he woke up at night or stayed awake at night. And if you don't want to hear this, I'm sorry. You can forward this, but this is going to get a little gross. So viewer discretion is advised. And so he goes and gets like what looks like a mallet.
Oh, shit.
Picks it up and walks straight to the mom's house, to the mom's room. And he bashes her over the head with it.
The mom?
The mom. Then he goes to the next room because they all were in separate rooms. He's in his own room. She's in her room. The girl he likes. And then the mom. And then he goes to the girls and he just bashes her head. To the friends. I mean, they must not make a lot of noise because not one is waking up from the other ones. Mm-hmm. So it must be like gargling or something that they're not waking up to it. So he then does and strikes the best friend, and she's dead as well. Then at the end, he waits and does it to her. And he just picks up that mallet and just smashes her head over the head. I mean, smashes it. Well, at the same time, the best friend, the daughter, the mom couldn't get a hold of her. Okay. Mind you, this is the next day.
Yes.
The next day, he's there still. Mm-hmm. He is still there, and they haven't heard from him. So the stepmom or the best friend calls because she's not getting a hold of her daughter. Yeah. So she calls.
The dad?
No, not the dad yet. She calls police to tell him, hey, can you just do a wellness check? Yeah. So they said, sure, we'll go do a wellness check. Opens the door. He answers it. The police knocks. He opens the door and he's like, hey, is so-and-so? He goes, oh, yeah, because they just, whatever excuse they made up. He said, okay, they didn't smell anything either. So he said, we didn't think anything of it. He said, oh, okay, so they're fine. Oh, yeah, they're fine. They just went to the store.
Holy crap.
Whatever excuse it was, I can't really remember. Well, then I guess the best friend's mom gets a hold of the dad finally.
Okay.
And they communicating, and he says, look, I haven't heard from my daughter. I'm getting really worried. Your daughter's there in the same house, and nobody's responding. Mm-hmm. Please go to the house and check. He says, oh, yeah, sure. I just dropped them off like a couple of days ago. Yeah, I'll go. I'll definitely go.
This is a couple of days now.
This is I think the same second day.
Oh, okay.
Because the mom was still like, the mom was still scared. Mm-hmm. And she was like, no, there's something. It didn't feel right. Mom's instincts, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or intuition. Well, anyway, he goes back to the house and opens the door and he's like, hey, is everybody okay? Everybody okay? He's in there waiting for him.
That's crazy.
He picks up the mallet and does the same thing to the dad. Same thing. Mind you, this time, the dad's not by the rooms. He's by the living room.
Yeah, walking in.
So now the stepmom is, the mom, I'm sorry, I keep saying the stepmom, but the best friend's mom still can't get a hold of anyone. I mean, she
God.
is worried, panic at this point.
Yeah, because now the dad's like not answering.
Now the dad's not answering.
Yeah.
And she said, but between that time, he takes off in his car and leaves.
The guy that
Yes, the
committing
guy that
crimes.
committed the crime took off in his car.
In the dad's car?
In the dad's car and has already left. He leaves and hauls, I don't know what he does, like what he's doing at that time, but he hauls for it. He leaves. Well, at the same time, she calls again and says, look, I'm sorry to bother you. I know something's going on. I can't get a hold of the dad now. He went to go check on the kids. My daughter's there. Please, I need another wellness check. Mm-hmm. I've heard really horror stories with police officers, and I have to say that they normally drop the ball when it comes to these things. They didn't drop the ball this time.
That's good.
They waited. By this time, though, it was like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So by that time, they walk up to the door and they get a whiff.
Well, because the other bodies had
already been decaying.
Yeah.
Yes, but they get a whiff, and he says that the officers have to cover their nose just standing at the door. And sure enough, they look through the window and they see the dad. So of course they call for let's search for this car. At the same time, the guy that drove off and did all this, I don't know. They don't know how he did it, but he did it where he ran off the road. Okay. And so the car tumbles. Okay. Onto like this ditch. So they had to pull a tow truck. And then a cop gets there and says, I have to write you a ticket because how you got off the side of the road is beyond me. Who knows if he was drinking, what it was.
He was probably driving fast. He's probably trying to get away, or just karma just said, yeah, you ain't going nowhere.
Or his conscience, maybe.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, come to find out that finally when the officers were like, hey, we would just spread the word. We're looking for this car. And the officer hears it. And he says, hey, I just towed this car and I gave a ticket to this kid. He goes, that's the same person he goes, I think we're looking for this kid. Yeah. And sure enough, they're like, yes, we're looking for him. He was last seen with them. And now they're all unalive. And so, come to find out, they
let the kid go.
Well, he did because they didn't know.
Well, I know, but so they let him go.
They tow the truck, they give him a ticket, and they let him go. Okay. Because all this officer knows is that the car just.
So are they in the middle of nowhere? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know where the location is. I should know that. I should have. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just wondering how quick the kid got not away from the cop, but like from the cop situation. He
wasn't too far away because this, like, I want to say they were in the same limits of the city because. I think that's how they were able to communicate with each other. Because I want to say the further you out, the harder it is to communicate to others.
Yeah, then you got jurisdictions and all
so, that. But no, they heard it. They were able to communicate and say, no, I just gave him a ticket. I know he's here. So anyway, they ended up arresting him. And sure enough, he admits to all of this. And all this because he couldn't handle the rejection of being online. And from this girl. All this because he didn't like the fact that she didn't see him sexy. But because he lied. He was also like he lied of who he was. Bitch, I don't understand why you gotta lie.
And he was in a rock group or like.
So he was like in a band kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think it was like a one-man band group kind of
deal. Oh, I thought it was like.
And he was like, God.
Oh, okay. I was just
my throat can't even handle that.
People see him, so I don't know why he would lie. Okay, now it makes sense.
But it's the music that they kind of liked. It was that, I wouldn't say goth, but I think that's an incorrect term. Like heavy metal.
Heavy metal, yeah.
Yeah, like dark heavy metal. Well, anyway, I feel like I was trying to tell you this story is because I have been online dating and I have, been on dates where a guy does lie to me or a guy doesn't represent who he is, which of course I'm sure most of the time they're doing that. But honestly, I've seen it. Like even going out yesterday, this girl came up to me
A girl came up to you.
No, not like that. Gross.
Oh.
Ew, mom.
was all,
Ew,
okay.
mom, stop being excited.
No, but no, it was more not excited, but more like, okay, what possessed that?
No, it's because she was making fun of another girl. And I guess she wanted me to validate her feelings. And she was like, my lips are big, right? Because, like, duh, I got them injected. They are. They don't look appealing to her face. They look too big. Well, the other girls were bigger. And she was like, but I don't look like that, right? And I said, oh, leave her alone. And she goes, oh, no, but she was trying her best to get validated from me. And I said, she goes, mine are too big, right? And I said, yeah, they're too big. No, but, like, do they look good? And I said, well, they're too big. I'm not really sure what you want. The only reason I was coming for her is because I thought she was going for somebody who she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Go have the guts and tell her over there.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, what do you want from me? You want me to agree with you, bitch? I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
But I feel like, how unfair that, I don't know how that made a point to this. It didn't. I just feel like
just a rejection. The rejection.
I feel like I was rejecting her when she was trying to, make fun of somebody else.
Yeah, because she wanted her feelings validated.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have been online dating once, and this was years ago, kind of like going back to what she was talking about. When back in the day, we had something called the phone line.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
oh, my God, do you remember? Do you remember when you would leave inboxes? I don't remember what that's called.
No, but you would be like...
people would leave different, like, and you would hear them, and you had, like this
if you're
little...
guy or girl, you're looking for whatever.
Video box or whatever. I don't remember what they were called.
It wasn't video. It was
voice box. Yeah.
And so you would be like, hey, what am I? My name's Jose, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you like what you hear, hit that one. If you don't like what you hear, hit that two. If you're a fool, hit that two or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
People would get really creative. It was cute, but it's funny.
Yeah, it was ghetto.
And so you would, super ghetto. But you would connect with other people but just by their voice. Well, one time I met a friend like that, which is named Gabriel, God rest his soul. That's how we met, is because through a phone line. And I remember I was like, oh, he sounds kind of cute. Gay as fuck, but cute. And I was
those voices, man.
Hey, like, what am up? You like, hey, like, what you hear? I was like, yes. Well, this motherfucker came over and met me, and I was like, oh. He wasn't ugly. He just wasn't my type.
Yeah.
Like, his whole aesthetic was, I was like, oh, he's a little ghetto. Like, I love Gabriel, but he was a little ghetto. And I was...
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, guys.
I know, I'll give her a second.
Sorry.
But, no, it's too young. So, I understand what it is to not like somebody like that. But it worked out really easily for me because we remained friends for years. But I don't think...
No. What? Rejection. Okay.
Rejection's hard. How do you deal with it? Like, do you also pick up a mallet?
No.
That's ugly, right?
That's so crazy because rejection is one of the hardest things for me. And I think now maybe not as much, but being with either not being in a relationship or being in a relationship, I didn't feel like they, I don't want to say validation because that's not what it is, but I didn't feel like because I'm a chubby girl, they weren't as comfortable. So I felt rejected in the relationships. So because of that, I fear relationships now because I hate being rejected. It makes me feel like shit.
I can see where you're coming from that because now that I've gained all this weight, I'm easily rejected in my community as well. They'll see me as a funny guy. They'll see me as a friend, but nothing past that sexual, whatever. But I noticed last night, because part of me wanted to judge this relationship, this couple. I knew they were a couple because you know how they're matching clothes? And he was an overweight guy. And the guy he was with was very toned. And immediately I did what a lot of people do. Ew, why do you like him? But I was like, hold on, bitch. Like, that's not right. Because I want somebody to love me for who I am. And that person was those two people were just genuinely loving each other. And I thought, shame on me because they truly do love each other, or it look like it. So I know what it is to be rejected, and then I noticed yesterday I was all, I shouldn't do that to somebody, like because I get rejected all the time, sexually or physically. I get rejected. I don't get rejected like as a friend. Does that make sense?
Same. I don't get rejected as a friend. It's the being in a relationship because I mean, I'm always, with my siblings, I'm always the one that's single. Always. I don't I just, because the fear of rejection is it plays a big part in why I stay single. Because I never want to feel what I did in those two relationships. The rejection that, even though maybe to that, well, maybe one of them, but the other one, maybe to him, he didn't feel like he was, but I'm like, you kind of were. Because when I told you the story, you're like, yeah, that's fucking rejection.
Yeah, that is.
The first one, when I told you about the first one, you're like, I hate him now.
Yeah, it completely changed my attitude because, because no one should ever make you feel like you're not beautiful.
Yeah.
And I want a relationship to make me feel whole, like in the sense of, I want to feel complete, but I don't want to feel all like in awe. Like
it's like I'm not. Yeah, it's not like I'm giving the whole responsibility to the other individual.
I'm not reliant.
But the relationship, you should be like, okay, you should like and love each other. Yes. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why I don't put the rejection when I'm out and about and people don't feel like I don't. Now I see it as, if you don't find me attractive, that's okay.
Yeah.
You're not for me, and I don't want to struggle in this relationship. I remember one time this guy jokingly said, "Oh, I'll be with you, but we have to have an open relationship."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah, because, I was like, "Are you calling me ugly?" He's like, "No, well, I mean, I'm attracted to different kind of men." Then why the fuck would I want to be with you, even as a joke? Like, I wouldn't want to be with you as a joke.
That's so stupid.
Like, not even in this scenario, I was all, I wouldn't want to be with you. I want a man that's going to love me for who I am. Yes, I'm going to fluctuate through my motherfucking weight. Okay, bitch. That's between me and my therapist. But that's my thing, is that I will lose the weight when I want to lose it. But if I'm going to gain it, I want him to love me unconditionally.
I can't, it fathers me with this story of, it was just one date. Like, why would you feel the need to?
I think it's because they invested so much time, and you know how when you're young, online, it's always amplified.
Yes. Like,
you always think it's the end of the world at the very time.
It's crazy.
And
he had no remorse. Like,
it didn't stop. It didn't seem
like the way, from what you're telling the story, it's just like, wow, like all those people had to not be here for you to, like,
just because one person rejected you, you unalived 4 people because you were not. I think this is so crazy. Weird how people take rejection.
Yeah.
I've seen people being rejected in a small way, like out in public, and people get ugly.
They do, and I don't. That's why I don't like to have, like, no new friends, no conversations, because I don't.
Esta tiene la puerta cerrada.
Yeah, I just don't want to invest in people that don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to deal with any of that. Like, your feelings of rejection. Sorry, it was not coming out. Or you're either jealous, or you're like, you're too fucking ugly for me. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that. That's why I'm like, I just stay in my little bubble.
I think I completely, I get it. Not in my world, I can't stay in that little bubble.
Well, no, but you're open. You're very outgoing. Not to say that I'm not, but I just feel energy right away. Because your job is not to do that.
No, but I do feel it. It's so funny.
Cold.
I know we're going to get off topic a little bit, but the other day when I work, like usually the first day, I can't sleep very well. The second day I can sleep very well. We were in Reno and I slept. Ooh, baby, I slept so good. So I woke up with like a step on my, like a skip on my step, whatever, how is that? A step?
I skip it by
No,
step.
a step? No, a skip?
Skip it by step, yeah.
Put it in the comments and help me. Okay, wait, anyway.
Now you're getting tongue
I'm pepping my step.
There you
Like,
go.
and so that's what I meant. And the guy that we were hanging out with, because we went to, it was a casino, so we only stayed up for like 11. I won once, and I checked out real quick. I cashed out real quick. I won $12. Then money! And I cashed out. I was like, I'm ahead, bitch. Well, he came down because we were taking the van back to the airport, and he was like, I'm so tired, I didn't sleep very well. And he said it 4 times. Then I realized, oh, I'm so tired. And I was like, no, I'm not. Because I was telling somebody, I said, no, I'm just tired. She was, oh, you didn't sleep well. I said, wait, no, I'm not. I said, I'm just kidding. That's his energy. No, I'm wide awake. I slept really well. And she's like, oh, okay. She was like, what the fuck is going on? Right? Like a poor thing. But I said, no, sorry. I was just feeding off of his energy. And I just got to like remove it really quick. But yeah, energies are big for me too. Like I deal with them all the time.
Yeah, because there's some that, you know what, there's some people that you have met, not your followers, other people, and you're just like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. I'm like, okay. Okay.
We like whenever we've done something, like immediately afterwards we're like, what do you think? Because we
want to see if
we want to see if we're like on the same page with that. And we instantly will normally be on the same page. And if we're not, we're like, why not? And well, because you didn't see this and and I was like, well,
there was one we disagreed on, but it's here nor there.
Who? One more time?
I'll tell you later.
No, okay. Who, bitch?
Because it'll be loud. I don't know how to.
I'll beep it.
I don't know how to whisper.
Just tell me. What about her?
Not yours.
Let it go, bitch.
You see?
Oh yeah.
You see?
But
we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. We've already had a discussion.
Let it go.
That's
bitch.
the one that we disagreed on.
Oh yeah.
One. I only won.
Yeah. The bitch holds on to things.
No, I don't hold on. I'm just giving an example. That's all.
Damn. But whenever I see things or I feel things like that, I'm out. I'm not playing with you. I'm not doing all this. I'm not even entertaining it. If I honestly do not want anything with you and I want to end this relationship, I will instantly tell you, I really like you.
That's why I don't do dating online, nothing. I don't do none of that. It scares the crap out of me for those reasons.
And I don't think that that's the worst of the scenario of dating somebody out there. I think you're just going to get rejected, stood up. Like I saw one where, poor thing, she went to the thing and waited for him for 2 hours. And he stood her up, and he had, I can't stand some men. He told her, I can't wait to see you tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And he did I can't wait to see you. I'll see you in an hour, blah, blah, blah. And nothing. And then just ghosted her. You jerk. Even if you didn't like her.
Oh, I had one ghost. I've had one ghost.
Oh, you do? Tell me.
So it was where I was working at the time. I forgot about that. He happened to call the location that I was at. I answered and it turned into this conversation. I'm like, bro, I'm at work. Like, here's my number. We'll talk later. We talk later, meet up. And I never heard from him again. It was just that one meetup. Nothing happened. But I was just like, that was weird. We talked for like maybe a week up until we met, like in person.
Dudes are jerks.
And he went to my house and I was just like, why are you being weird about like, and I called them like maybe like not the next day, or maybe the next day, I can't remember. Didn't answer and I was like, all right, throw in the number, and I threw it away, and that was the best of that. But I was just like, dude, you ghosted. Like, you could just say, okay, you were my type, or I'll go fucking make up some bullshit.
There's one guy that came onto a plane one time, and he was handsome, and people around him were like goo goo gaga over him.
I hate those guys.
Wait.
I don't.
No, I didn't. I was out there. Something about him I did not like. He said something, and I was all, oh, okay. Inside, I was all, I don't like you. I don't like nothing about you, and this is not going to work on me. There's something like not dead in his eyes.
Yeah.
Like there was something vacant.
Yeah.
And I was all, I don't like these
And
eyes.
people, like, I never knew that, because I would hear people say, or like, you know, when you watch like a crime drama or whatever, and you're like, oh, well, we saw like nothing in, you know, his eyes or her eyes, or you just saw like dead, like they just were like zoned out.
They weren't giving anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, I never knew that existed until I had to deal with it.
Where?
With my ex.
Oh.
Yeah, the like darkness, like the gone, I was just like, that really does exist. That's
No,
crazy.
there's people out there,
Yeah.
and I feel like I can't. There was one lady, and I told you this before. We were both in uniform. She worked for the same company I did, and my mouth doesn't know when to shut up. And I was waving hi to I was saying hi to everybody, and I was like, ah! And I didn't mean to react like that. I swear to you, I wasn't trying to be dramatic, or I went, ah! And she went, what? I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I didn't mean, I'm so sorry. You're beautiful, but it had nothing to do with you. Well, yes, it did. And she was all, well, what was it? I know. I said, she goes, what was it? But I knew I did not like her immediately. I've never met her in my life. I said, no, I feel like you're trying to look at my soul.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that
I
story.
said, and I'm really not comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And she's all, no, I'm not. And the voice, the way she,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm not
No,
like that. And the friend, somebody else in uniform went, and I said, yeah, I'm not meshing with you. I said, but you have a good life. And I turned around, and afterwards she was like, oh, I hope you get on this flight. I said, are you getting on it? And she's like, yeah. I said, oh, I'm good. I'll get on the next one. I do not know how to not hide it.
No, you don't.
I will try. If you prepare me, I will try my best to hide it. But if you don't prepare me, my honest truth will come out, even if I'm trying my best. Because
my face says it. My face says it. Because you told me before, get that face over you. People were watching. I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, we're in public, remember? And she's like, what am I doing? And I was like, just change your face.
And it's all because it's because I'm
She's taking it in.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay. Like, without them knowing that I'm doing it. So, yeah, he's told me
She's being very protected. And it's not like she's trying to do anything like that. It's just, she's like... And sometimes it could just be overwhelming too, but by the time I look, she's already like...
No, I had that resting bitch face. You're like, stop looking at that.
Yes. I used to tell my mom, please stop making that... And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I tried. But yeah, it's one of those things. Rejection is difficult, but I
gotta learn how to... just
not pick up a mallet, you jerk.
Yeah, just take it with a grain of salt, man. You have to, because that person wasn't for you.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, oh, it's scary to date nowadays. It really is. It scares the crap out of me. I stress out thinking about dating.
Oh, don't think about it.
That's why I haven't thought about it since I had the conversation.
Yeah, that's just one of those situations that's never can be never ending. Dating, we'll talk about that later. Dating, adios. Anyway, with that said, because we're both hungry, we gotta go. Dame un besito, because we gotta go. Bye. Oh, this is sponsored by Magia Coffee. Use the discount code Jose91 15 or 20. One of those. You'll get a discount either way. But dame un besito. Bye.